Hi there! I know this isn't the kind of thing I usually do, but I wanted to try something different. Hopefully the mic quality is okay. I kept testing it constantly, and I know it probably sounds really bad, but it's all I have, and this kind of requires me to talk since I want to be able to explain my choices, and I didn't want to have to force you all to just read a ton of stuff, so I hope you can just put up with it for now. I'll hopefully be able to get a better mic in the future, but no promises. Anyway, this is just something I wanted to do. I've seen a few lists like this in the past, and I kind of just wanted to throw my 2 cents in. Blackpool and the Pleasure Beach especially is like my favourite place in the world. I've been going nearly every year since I was born, with the exception of I think 5 years? I'm not too sure. But I'm getting back into the swing of it, having gone the past 3 years, and I'll be going again this year. Who knows? Maybe you'll see me there. So, just quickly before we get started, let me get into something more fitting. Okay, that's better. Onto the list now, though. This is just my personal top 10 rides at the park. Might be a bit controversial, since a couple other lists I've seen it's been mainly the bigger rides, and while I have gone nearly every year of my life now, there's still some that I haven't been on since, well, I'm a pussy, basically. So, if there's a ride I haven't actually been on, it won't be on this list. So, sorry big one enthusiasts, maybe I'll push myself to go on it this year. Anyway, starting off, number 10, the River Caves. So, straight off the bat, something gentle, one of the family rides, you get the idea. This has always been one of my favourite rides since I was younger, and if it was years ago, then it would probably be higher on this list. However, since the changes made to it because of the Wallace and Gromit ride, my favourite section of it will now never be the same. Once an open and relaxing blue cavern with gentle music, the goldmine track above, and a view into a restaurant, cafe, whatever it was, it is now a dark closed-in section with stars in the ceiling not too far above. And while the music is technically the same piece, it's a different section that is a lot less relaxing than the section previously used. Meanwhile, throughout the rest of the ride, some music has been removed, a bit has been added, and the Egyptian section music and the voiceover now has a different timing, and UV lights have been added. Once a relaxing and fun experience now just seems to lack the magic it once had. So, sorry River Caves, you may still be in my top 10, but you're just not what you used to be. Number 9, the Gallopers. I'm not selling myself very well, am I? First a family water ride and now a carousel? But come on, give me a break. This has been a favourite of mine since I was a kid, to the point where I did an art project based on it when I was still in primary school. It's beautiful, and the 52-key Verbeek organ playing music just makes it a fun experience. Trust me, you never know what you're gonna hear. Maybe one time you'll hear the Muppets theme song, maybe next time you'll hear some pop song, or maybe you'll hear something old-fashioned. It's always a surprise when the organ starts up and you think, oh hey, I know this, and you start singing along in your head. It's just innocent fun and I love it. Don't ever jump down from it though, it's a bigger drop than you would think and it hurts your legs. Just trust me on that one. Number 8, Nickelodeon Street. Originally known as just a roller coaster, I have to be honest, I haven't actually been on this much, and the last time I was, it was a lot slower than I remember it being. That's not to say it's bad at all, but if you're not used to roller coasters and you want to get into them and try them, this would definitely be a beginner one. It's basically just your classic wooden coaster, not much to say about it really, it just is what it is. Bloody impossible to find the entrance to it sometimes though. Number 7, the Derby Racer. Yeah, I can already hear the comments now. You just did a carousel, why are you pushing another one right after it? Dislike, unsubscribe. But just hold on. I was thinking about putting this together with the Gallopers, however, they are technically different rides and I enjoy this one more for different reasons. The Derby Racer is much more open than the Gallopers and is way faster. Feeling the wind in your face as you're spun around at quite a good speed, and once again a Verbeek organ, 72-key this time, playing music that you probably know. It's a fun time and I'll take it over the Gallopers any day, just purely for the speed and size of it. Even if Monica did get me last time. I call dibs on the black car, so. Number 6, the Alice ride. I swear I have been on the more intense rides, just believe me, please. There's a reason these ones are the tame ones. Anyway, I've went on this literally every single time I've been, purely for the nostalgia factor. I have so many memories of this ride you would not believe. Standing in line with my mum and swinging on the queue line fences, going on it alone for the first time and being scared that it would break down, the old shelter the queue line used to have, the time before they started blipping the song Inside Dreadfully. I could go on. The point is, this ride is important to me and I absolutely love it. I know it's probably something that a lot of people would overlook, but it's worth your time. I promise. Number 5. The Grand National. Now we're getting into it. Good old Grand National. I used to have mixed feelings about this, but last year something just clicked and I realized it was one of my favourite rides at the park. The only downside really is how rough it can be. Like, on a good day it's incredibly smooth and one of the best rides at the park. Whereas on a bad day, well, prepare to be bruised afterwards. This thing isn't afraid to throw you around and bash you into either the sides of the car or the person sitting next to you. It's good fun though, and the race aspect of it adds to it. Slowly advancing on the opposite car, leaving it in the dust as you claim your victory, you'll always have a good time, as long as you don't mind pain. I recommend taking the right hand side though, it tends to win more often. Number 4, the Ghost Train. It's a classic, how could I not include it? So, while it was never a serious favourite of mine, maybe originally 6th or 7th, last year it just shot up and I absolutely love it now. I even did a drawing based on a selfie I took while I was on it. It's some good, wholesome fun and it's always a treat, even if the queue times can be ridiculously long. I still remember I only ended up trying it out because of an episode of Fraggle Rock. Before that I was terrified of it. Granted, that was years ago now, but interesting to see how much I've changed, I suppose. I still hate the train bit at the end. I remember seeing it in a video for the first time, and because it wasn't like that the last time I was on it, I thought, so that's what it was like before. Good thing I never went on it when it was like that, otherwise I would have been terrified. And then when I went on it again, well, let's just say I found out the hard way that the video was more recent than I thought. Number 3, Icon. Hold your pitchforks and torches, let me explain why this is only number 3. I've only been on this once and I don't know if I'm ever going to be able to go on again, which breaks my heart because I adore this. It was my first time I'd ever been on 1, a steel roller coaster, 2, a launched roller coaster, and 3, a ride that went upside down. I was screaming literally the whole time and honestly I don't know how my dad isn't deaf because of me. When I came off I was traumatized. However, due to my health condition, maybe a few minutes after I ended up feeling so ill that I literally had to be wheelchaired out the park. I kind of felt humiliated, but the paramedics were incredible and I'm honestly kind of sad I never got to thank them for helping me. So yeah, because of that, I don't know if I'll ever be able to go back on. Maybe someday in the future, but I don't know. It pains me to know, and listening to the soundtrack, I just become a bag of emotions. It makes me feel so strong and grateful, but at the same time, it hurts. I love this ride, and if you get the chance, give it a go. It's amazing, and I only wish I was able to go on that again. Number 2, Valhalla. Yes, this is only number 2. Trust me when I say that this and my number 1 are extremely close to the point where they're almost tied for first. However, what solidified it as my number 2 was an experience I had last year, which has kind of put me off it just a bit. To say the least, the boat wasn't catching on the lift hill properly, so it would be taken up a little bit before sliding back down again while creating this horrible noise that sounded like it was going to explode. Like, seriously, the best way I could describe it would be like, imagine you were inside a really old washing machine that wasn't working properly. Now make that sound as loud as a concert. Yeah, it was kind of terrifying. I suppose it probably didn't help that I'd just been watching stuff to do with the Smiley crash maybe just a week prior, so I honestly thought I was gonna die. Ever since then I haven't trusted it 100%, but I still love it. Also, yes, I know there was just too much water and it was just lifting the boat up, but it was still scary. Aside from that though, the ride is incredibly fun and I can't wait to go on it again when I go back. Let's just hope that the lift hill issue has been solved. Now, before I go on to number 1, I want to name some honourable mentions, since they deserve it. The steeplechase. While it didn't make it into my top 10, this would definitely have the 11th spot. Racing other people is always good fun and it's at its best when all 3 lanes are running. Noah's Ark. I couldn't not mention this. I used to love it as a kid even if it did terrify me, and I only ever got to properly walk around it once before it closed. I miss it, and I only wish I could go back in time to experience it again. The structure may still be there, but it's just an empty shell. The Gold Mine. Replaced by the Wallace and Gromit ride, the track still remains, but the theming is completely different. Personally, I much preferred the gold mine theming, and the fact that the track opened up at one point so you could see the river caves was a nice little addition. And while I don't have anything against Wilson Gromit, it just feels a lot more cheesy now. Beaver Creek. Yes, the whole area. I spent so much time here when I was a kid, and I used to love it. While some of the rides still remain, the Nickelodeon theme is a lot more in-your-face, kid-oriented. The Zipper Dipper, now the Blue Flyer, was the first roller coaster I ever went on and was always fun. The fruit ship ride I used to love, and honestly I would pretend to be my dad and imagine I was on the Ice Blast. The pirate ship ride became a favourite, and there were so many others that I used to enjoy, and it's sad that they're not there anymore. Now then, with that all out of the way, what could I possibly have put above Valhalla? Possibly the best ride in the park? Well, number 1, the Ice Blast. Okay, settle down, I know what you're thinking. The Ice Blast? Really? You put that above Valhalla Icon and the big one? For one, I haven't even been on the big one yet. And 2? Yes I do. It's short, sweet, fun, terrifying, and the rush of adrenaline you get from it is amazing. I always come off grinning and bouncing about, and even just thinking about it makes me giddy. This is Valhalla, were tied for first, and if you'd asked me a couple of years ago, I would have said that Valhalla just outdoes the Ice Blast. But, as I stated before, the last experience I had with Valhalla just kind of pushed this one to the top. No pun intended. Hell, out of all the rides at the park, this is the only one I have any recent footage of me on. So yeah, this is my list. I hope you liked it and don't hate me for my opinion. Depending on what kind of response I get on this, I might do more videos like it, because I've had several top 10 list ideas in mind, but I've never really known how to do them. So, yeah. Be sure to let me know what you thought, how I can improve, how my mic quality is, you get the idea. Maybe even leave your own list down in the comments below. Anyway, that's it for this video. Bye!